I still don't have a vote from TAPSA, DRC, NAPSSL, AP Mali. UPSA Uganda have all not voted. TAPSA, NAPS, AP Mali, UPSA. TAPSA, AP Mali, UPSA, last call before I close the votes. TAPSA, AP Mali, UPSA. Now it's left with TAPSA, UPSA. TAPSA, UPSA, sorry. TAPSA, UPSA, should I close the votes? I'm giving 1 minute. Any delegate from TAPSA or UPSA in the room? TAPSA and UPSA. TAPSA, UPSA. For the last time, then I close it. TAPSA and UPSA are not voting. Any OU or any technical? TAPSA and UPSA. No response from TAPSA and UPSA. Okay, I'm going ahead to close. Okay, now so we have the results. It will be entered fully. Please enter in the parliamentarian system so that we can display. Fode, please enter. Fode, please enter. I'm still waiting for you. Is Fode around? Or Kishan?
I think Fode is having some technical.
Is Kish okay? Let me just do it myself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm waiting for hold on.
Yes, yeah, it's clear. I'll send it to you.
Fode is back.
Fode, I'm not seeing the display.
You can check now.
For you have to modify the motion. Look at my text.
All right, hold on.
Okay,
It's done.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. So this is the 10th IPSF AfRO Regional Assembly. Nominates Mr. Musa Fofana as the IPSF Chairperson of AfRO 2021-2022. 8 valid votes, 8 for, 0 against. Congratulations, Mr. Musa Fofana, on your nomination as chairperson. We can go ahead, give him congratulations. Yeah. So yes, I think we can give Musa the floor to say a few words, then we move to the next election.
Yes, thank you, Yao, for giving the floor. And thank you, all of you, for the trust you have just placed in myself. As I said, I'm certainly French speaking, but know that I will not be there to defend a single cause. I will be the chairperson of all. And the effort I make today, and the effort I will make to speaking English is proof that shows my determination for the common goal. Thank you again, together for making our region bigger. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Musa. Can we have the next motion for the? Okay, the next election is with the secretary. As for the secretary elections, I want to assess the floor. I just received some information. There may be modification to our time schedule for today, because I just received some information. We are having some programs as well that will be clashing with the platforms that we want to use. We are supposed to end our first session now. I wanted to assess the floor if we should end or we should continue with the secretary nomination and come back at 5 instead of the scheduled 3 because of the program that will be going on for the second session, which we would have for 2 hours. So those are the options. Either we end now because our time is up per the agenda and come back. We'd have to shift our second session to 5 GMT plus 0 instead of the initial 3 because we have like some little issues with the Zoom, or we should continue with the secretary before we go and come back at 5 so that we have the rest. Then I'm even sure we can end today instead of tomorrow as planned. Then we also announced best CP, best association, best project, best SU. So for they can draw a line in the chat box so that I can assess the floor. If you're comfortable with us continuing for an hour more with this nomination, please put Y in the chat box. If you want us to end the session, please put an N in the chat box so that we end. Only full members are allowed to vote. No observers are allowed to vote. Only full members are allowed to vote. And 1 per full member. I see like 3 members from GPSA Ghana voting at the same time. So let's restart the voting. Fode, please draw the lines again. Just 1 person is supposed to vote per association. So Fode, let's restart. Tiffany, you have a T. Can we sort it out before you continue?
Yeah, mine is a clarification. When I look at the participants, I'm not seeing other official delegates from CAFSA. And if we're to continue, then I'll need to reach out to them to make sure they're here so that we can have transfer of voting rights to another email. I think that's protocol, right?
So you have the username and password, so just share it with them.
Okay, let me just try and get them back in the room.
Okay, so I see most people saying we should continue. Fode, can you count the votes? Only full members with voting rights are supposed to vote. PANS does not have voting rights. Kindly count the votes and let's see if we continue or we stop. Scrutineers,
1,
secretaries.
2, 3, 4. Four has voted so far. We're still waiting for NAPS.
We don't have quorum.
Yes, we are waiting for
So
NAPS
we can go ahead.
the likes.
Who is
to
left to
join.
vote?
We have 4 that have voted so far. 4, and no one has voted against. So we're asking the rest to please vote. AEP Mali has not voted yet.
So we need just one more person to vote to continue.
AEP Mali has not voted yet. Kepsa Kenya has not voted yet. Guys, please vote.
Guys, please, let's be quick with this. We want to, okay, yeah, we have
All right, we have a quorum now. Let's
majority,
go.
so fine. So we go ahead with the session. This is the 10th IPSF AfRO Regional Assembly elects as the IPSF AfRO Secretary. We received only one application. We received 2 actually, but one did not meet the eligibility criteria. So we just have one nominee present who will be given motivation. So as we did the previous time, we give you 3 minutes to go through her document. Then we give her 3 minutes for motivation before we proceed to voting. So your time starts now. Scrutineers, please be monitoring the room. Anyone unmutes their mic, put them in the waiting room or take them out of the meeting.
Someone, please check your sub, yeah.
One minute more. Time is up, guys. Tiffany, we have just received one application from Tiffany Obai, KEFSA Kenya. If Tiffany Obai is available, you can give your motivation. You have 3 minutes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Obai, and I'm the current contact person for KEFSA Kenya. I have been active in IPSF for the past 2 years now, in which I have been able to attend several webinars, participate in a number of campaigns, as well as several competitions. I have attended Leaders in Training last year, from which I was able to realize that leadership was my calling. Soon after which I was able to apply and was elected as the contact person for KEFSA Kenya, as well as a member of the Quality Documentations and Translation Subcommittee. In these 2 roles, I have learned a lot. As contact person, I have learned how to multitask because it's not easy to be a contact person. I have learned how to interact with other AfRO team members, and I can attest that I have so many friends in the room right now. As Quality Documentations and Translations Subcommittee member, I worked really closely with Mr. Fode, through which I developed an understanding of what it means to be secretary and the importance of communication, time management, and proper organization in order to ensure that all regional offices are working in harmony and as efficiently as possible, because I, as a regional secretary, my work would involve ensuring proper communication in all of the regional working group positions, as well as the AfRO team and member associations. I have several plans should I be elected as regional secretary. I plan on updating the AfRO history book that is currently ongoing to introduce a SEP segment, because I believe it is one of the most lucrative of the programs for IPSF. I also plan on introducing task allocation programs in the QDT subcommittee to ensure that it's working as efficiently as possible and all members are able to properly circulate in all the 3 portfolios under the subcommittee to ensure that they all are well equipped to take over from me in the next mandate. I also hope to ensure effective documentation of all reports, of all minutes, ensuring that regional working group reports are sent in on time.
30 seconds more.
I believe that I've gotten the experience needed to take over this position. I believe that IPSF has given me a lot, and I would want to give back to IPSF a little bit of what it has given to me by imparting knowledge and skills on those who are coming after me. I do hope I have gotten your vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The floor is now open for discussion. Any questions, any comments for Ms. Tiffany Obai? Okay, I see none on the floor. So can we go into, okay, I see Ms. Selinam, go ahead, you have the floor.
Hello, Tiffany. Good afternoon. I wanted to find out, presently, AfRO does not have a history book, which I believe is great for the future generation of AfRO, being that we are students, so we normally leave to occupy new positions, probably in FIP and elsewhere. Even though several mandates have tried to start the history project, it hasn't been. Is that something you're looking into? And with that, what do you plan to do? Thank you.
Go ahead, Tiffany.
Okay, thank you, Selinam, for your question. The AfRO History Book project, if I understood your question correctly, was introduced and data started being collected in this mandate. We have started as the QDT subcommittee to sort of clear through most of the information we have received from past RWG, past chairpersons of AFPS and member associations all together. So based on what we get, we will have to introduce the Afro history book before the end of Mr. Fode's mandate. Should it be delayed, it can also, move into my mandate. And I do believe we have received a lot of information and a lot of good content from member associations, which I hope we can use to launch the Afro history book before the end of this year. My plan would be to introduce a segment, which means working really closely with SEOs to showcase their member associations in the best light so that it can have a comprehensive effect. I hope I've answered your question, Ms. Elena.
Thank you. We have another question from Nakugoba Mahmoud.
Okay, so my name is Nakugoba Mahmoud from Mopsa, Uganda. I would like to ask Ms. Tiffany Obai, as a member of the Secretary's subcommittee, like documentations officer. I would like to know, in your mandate as you served, have you identified any shortcomings or like problems that you could solve when you're given authority in the next mandate?
Tiffany, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Mahmoud, for your question. With all positions, there's always a challenge and there's always advantages. So sure, I have acknowledged that there's some disadvantages or some shortcomings to the mandate as of now. So as I detailed in my plan, some of the shortcomings would be communication, especially with CPs and SEOs, to ensure that they're able to respond in a timely manner to emails and such things. So my plan for such would be to use the interactions and the contacts I've gotten as contact person currently to work really closely with incoming contact persons, ensuring that even as we post that there's email that have been sent in the general WhatsApp group, I would also want to have a personal interaction with each and every one of them, because it is not as much negligence or ignorance as in contact persons. In my opinion, they just have a lot on their plate, which means that constant reminder, a support system where you have RWG members who understand what it is they're going through and try to make their work easier by sending them reminders and even sending the links to these reports in WhatsApp so that they don't have to go through a dozen or so emails to be able to get to the one that is important. That is one of the plans I would have. And then ensuring QDT members are not, restricted to one aspect of the mandate or the portfolio. So the use of Google Sheets to be able to allocate work to the QDT subcommittee members each quarter to ensure that they are able to circulate in all, even if they may not be able to translate, as they may not all be French speakers, but at least to understand what it is that occurs in the translation department so that they all have a holistic experience at the end of the mandate. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you. We have Herman Bazier on the floor.
Okay, thank you for the floor. I'm Herman Bazier. I'm a CP from Sefam, Burkina Faso. So I want to congratulate Tiffany for replying. And I have one question. What new thing you want to bring at this post to resolve some difficulties? And what difficulties do you see at this post, and that you could bring a new thing, a solution for it? Thank you.
Tiffany, you have the floor.
Okay. If I have understood your question correctly, Herman, it is sort of related to the previous one, but I will answer you. So the new things I want to introduce based on the difficulties or shortcomings I have seen as a QDT subcommittee member, I will just summarize. The rotation of QDT team members in each portfolio to ensure they get a holistic experience. And then there's also working with CPs really closely, even those from Francophone countries, because I believe that they too have a role to play in ensuring that the AfRO team works well. So working closely with contact persons to ensure that not only do they have to go to emails to get the information that they need, but they also can find this information on WhatsApp in their personal WhatsApp pages so that they don't have to do all the work of sifting through all the information to be able to get to what they need. And also updating the AfRO history book, ensuring that the launch is sufficient and ensuring that there's a SEP component to the AfRO history book. Have I answered your question?
Okay, I see no other person on the floor. So can we move to close discussion now? Manuela, look at closing the live stream and